You should have passion. But that might not be your career.
So a lot of people are like, man, what is your thing that you're very good at, and try to go after that. I was no good at finance. I didn't know what to do.
And you wouldn't have come to that if you didn't power through some questionable years where you're like, why am I doing this?
I believe personally, that's horrible advice.
Have just a bunch of dumb people that don't care, that have no care for another human being, that don't care about doing a good job, have no pride in their work, that have no competency, and it doesn't matter because my systems are good.
All right, man, let's talk about passions. Should you go and pursue your passion with career and making money?
It's all rose-colored glasses, and you should live life. You should live life like frivolously, just waiting for your career love to come as you wave your hair in the wind and just So
you should do that more often.
I got no hair, but it's like. That's a question that it drives me nuts, because I think there was a whole maybe decade, maybe even longer, that that the youth were being told, like, go live your passion. Go like, fuck, like, that doesn't work. Like, go, like, there's a very small percentage of people that get to live their passion.
Yeah.
Right, like if you're Celebrini right now, and in hockey, if you're Tom Brady, if you're you got to live you're gonna get to live your passion because your skill set said that you're allowed to live your passion, and that's phenomenal and that's incredible. But I think it's unhealthy for kids to think that the youth to be chasing that. Well, if I can't live my passion, then what do I do? Because that's not the reality for 99% of the humans. Not to say you shouldn't have passion. You should have passion, but that might not be your career. You should seek fulfillment. Fulfillment is what you seek. Do something that you know or you feel is important. Do something that makes you confident in your abilities and hones your skill set, and that kind of stuff. Because in order to find your career, it's not just about, if I don't love it, I can't do it. How are you ever gonna? So you have to love everything. Like, how do you even know? Because if you think if you take the mortgage, world, I wasn't drawing pictures of me in kindergarten writing loans.
What?
Well, what's this? Well, this is me getting a family a mortgage. This is me providing paper. Look at me at the fax machine. I'm at the fax machine faxing. Like, I can't wait. This is what I've just known since I was a little kid, that's all I wanted to do. It starts really barbaric almost, where it's like, I'll have to feed my family and myself somehow. Right. And so, but then you start to learn the importance of it, and you enjoy it, and you might be good at it. And then you start to get fulfilled with what you're doing. And I think that's why kids lots of times they give up a little bit too early, like the youth right now, because they start doing something and it's going to be hard, and you're going to feel stupid, and you're going to do all this, and you're not going to particularly love all of it.
Yeah.
And then they're like, I don't love it. And I was told I was supposed to love it. And it's like, what the fuck? Like, you just get working, and as you get good at it, you'll appreciate it, or then you'll move on, but at least give it an honest shot. And it's, it was said to me once, I'll never forget it because it changed the outlook I had on a lot of things.
Yeah.
Is one of the guys I worked with in the casino industry had just said, hey, I know that you guys might not want to do this for the rest of your life. Like, I get that, you're kids, and this is just a job that you can do on weekends. It's kind of fun. But does it hurt you negatively to be good at this? Like how would it hurt you negatively if you were just good at it while you were here? You might be here for 6 months, you might be here for 3 years, but would it kill you to be good at it? Like, I don't know how it makes you a worse person. And that affected me lots at that age. I think I was 21, and I was like, you know what? Yeah, it's just, he says you could only be a better person if you were good at this.
Yeah.
And so then it was just about, but if you worked hard and tried, you could kind of see why people chose that as their career.
Yeah.
And that it's a great career.
Yeah.
And why they would love it, and why they would be proud about being really good at it. And and you can only do that if you just chase being good at things and being fulfilled.
Yeah.
What do you think?
No, I totally agree. Other than like I on the playground obviously was collecting pogs, and if they couldn't have their own, then I would finance for them and I'd collect the interest, and I was doing like that. So you were
already a loan shark.
Yeah, it was very natural for me.
Yeah.
No, I never dreamt about mortgages, never thought about lending, was not interested in any of that, and here we are, right? So I completely agree. Is I don't know what I'd be aiming at. Like I would be trying to make it as a mountain biker. Oh man, like I'd be dead. Yeah, it would be broken neck somewhere. Yeah. So if I would have followed my passion, I would be in Alberta, like where it's hard to make it pro here when you got 4 months of riding season.
Right.
So it's just I had to choose something that was different, but I did find that I stumbled into the industry by accident, but it became my passion because I found what I really liked. And if I was to leave the mortgage industry today, I would go find something I serve people with.
Right.
Give me a problem, let me help you solve it because I want the best for you. And someone had said to me, they're like, if you want to become wealthy, then help other people become wealthy. And you will then, it's almost like Zig Ziglar's quote,
right.
is I feel like that then changed a lot of it for me. It's like, no, you don't become passionate about your career. If I really like drawing and art, which I do, or mountain biking, those are things, but I actually prefer to leave those as my hobbies. I don't want that to become my full-time career. I kind of like leaving those for when I decompress, when I go home, I'm going to go for a ride, or maybe I'm going to draw and color with the kids. Like those are avenues that I get to escape to, and they get to remain my hobbies. So a lot of people are like, man, what is your thing that you're very good at, and try to go after that. I was no good at finance. I didn't know what to do. Like you jump into it, you're like, no, this is where I'm at now. And I love it because we're solving people's, their issues with financing, and we get to make them homeowners, and we have a whole company and team that's now doing that for thousands of people per year. It's super special. But I would not have guessed that for myself or probably for you either. Right.
And you wouldn't have come to that if you didn't power through some questionable years where you're like, why am I doing this? What is the point?
I was there.
Right? Like I
would call my dad every day. Like, hey, maybe not every day. Every week, every month for sure. Those first year, 18 months.
I want to quit.
I hate this career. I gotta quit. He's like, no, just stick it out, Graham. Yeah. And then all of a sudden you're like, no, I'm starting to get good at this. Yeah.
Yeah, and the reality of it is the front stage of what people see when you see them in a career that maybe looks enviable. Or maybe they have a cool life.
Yeah.
You don't actually see the backstage part of it because people only show you the highlight reel, right? So then 90% of what, like if you take an athlete, lots of people like they look at the athlete and they're like, oh man, they get they're playing on the biggest stage and they're challenging themselves. They're really good, but the work that goes into that when we're not watching the game.
Yeah.
Right. Like we're watching the game. Like if if it's NFL, you're watching the game once a week, not even thinking about what their life has been like to get as good and be as ridiculously good at that sport as they are.
Yeah.
And the work that it takes, and then the whole business side, and they go through the hardships and the cuts and injuries and there's a whole 90% of their world that they deal with bullshit just like anyone else.
Yeah,
they just happen to get paid a lot of money. So it's an awesome Bill Murray quote when they said if you want to be rich and famous, start with rich and see if that doesn't just about cover it, right? Like it's so you're like people just, I think they envy the lifestyle. They see the lifestyle, but you don't know.
Please don't cough.
But they see the lifestyle, and that's what they're after. That was my experience as a young kid. I did want to be an actor. I went to school for theater, and I was like, no, I'm gonna go be this famous actor. And then when you go do that, and then you're like, I actually don't like this at all.
Yeah.
Like, I don't like anything about this.
Yeah.
Like I hate dressing up. I hate dressing up into costumes. I don't like rehearsing. I didn't like auditioning. I'm like, there's a lot of friction for me wanting this. I think maybe I was just a kid that envied a movie star and thought, hey, you know what? That might be a good idea, right?
Which I don't blame you. I really wish I could have seen you act.
No, you don't. Nobody. No, there's a reason nobody did, right? Like it's
that would have been awesome. We would have clapped, man. We would have loved it. We would have cheered from the back.
There's a reason that nobody has seen it.
There's my co-owner.
The world is better for it, but but that's really it. Like that's the danger, and I think there is a danger in the youth of saying live your passion, because you can create some unstable and stressful situations, because they relate it to feel a certain way about their career, and when they realize that it's hard and challenging and you're not loving it every single day, and they hear these there's people are like, I don't, if you love what you do, you don't work a day in your life. Fuck you. Like that. Not a chance. Anybody that loves what they do, they have brutal days. They have days where they don't want to do it at all. They have days where they're staring up into the ceiling saying, what the hell am I doing here? I should not be here. Like, it's just like, those quotes are just somebody at their peak moment in their career, and like, I just love what I do, and I've just loved every moment and every bit of it. And it's like, if I would have talked to you in a weak moment, you'd have told me that
this is the worst ever.
That everything sucks. So I think that's what kids need to, that's where fulfillment comes in.
Yeah, and I think that the pursuit of here's where I'm at right now, like that casino advice is brilliant. Is that leader in your life to be able to say, and this, I think that really sums up my perspective on it too, is where you are right now, wherever it is, whether it's McDonald's or the casino or the bank, wherever you are, is that give it your all, be your best, like Jim Rohn, leave where you are in a better place than where you found it. And whether that's his example in that episode is, I think, leaving a hotel room and like a better, like turn off the lights, treat it like with respect, even though it's not yours. Doing that with your job, you will then find something that is your passion, and or that you're going to be passionate with and about. Just like mortgages, it turned in for me is that it wasn't something that I knew that I really wanted to do, but then I became passionate about it because I realized the special things I was able to do. And so you're like, wherever you are, and then I find that for myself, and wait, even for both of us, how many doors have opened because we made it our passion. We're like, now I'm passionate about doing very good at this. Didn't think this was going to be me, but here I am. And then people start to open up doors for you because like you care, you work really hard, you're trustworthy, you're genuine, you're sincere, honest, whatever, all these qualities. But it didn't matter what the job was. Those doors, I believe, for you and I would have opened up if we were in car sales or manufacturing. I don't think it would have changed. That we would have made that our passion, and then the doors would open. Here's an opportunity. Are you interested? And hopefully we would have said yes. But I think that's the cool part of it, is like, find where you are and kick as much ass as possible there, and the doors are going to open. You're going to find, be like, oh my word, I was supposed to be here. Yeah, because you work hard. You made that happen.
You make it happen, and then I think you do. Like for me, like in the lending world, I just got really connected to the people. So you just really start liking who you're working with. And so the job itself became secondary, because it's like, we're good at this, and what we're doing is really important, fulfilling, and all that stuff. But then you really start, the camaraderie of it really starts to become amazing, right? Like where you're like, oh no, but I love the people that I'm communicating with on a regular basis, right? So
love it.
And so that is so passion. Like when the young kids are told passion, it's I would say it's shit advice, and they should be guided differently. What's some other things that you've been told in your business journey where you're like, man, that was really shitty advice, I'm glad I didn't listen to it, or I did listen to it and realized how shitty it was?
I think one that stood out for me is my very first year in mortgages. I went to a conference. There was a realtor on stage, I won't say his name, but his advice to the whole group was to, after this conference, if you're brand new and you really want to make it in this career, go finance the nicest vehicle that you can afford and max out the lease. Like whatever they say is possible for you, you get that one. Not about can you afford it, just how much can you qualify for, and then go to the maximum amount. And I remember thinking like, okay, and you're like, this guy's 50 years old, he looks successful, super nice clothing, and he's on stage, but I didn't do what he said. And I think about it now, I'm like, man, with a failure rate in sales and commission sales of whatever industry, the success rate is usually like less than 10% or 20%. So you have 80 to 90% of people failing in these industries. Sure. And they're out there now with $1,000 to $2,000 car payments. You're like, oh my word. And I'm like, it's scary to think about that. You're like, all these people are now buried in debt. And when you finance a vehicle and you couldn't afford it in the first place, you probably can't flip that car. Yeah. So now you're holding on to this payment. Either bankruptcy or you do make it, which was his story. It was like, you gotta just do this.
Stresses you out.
But I'm like, man, I believe that positive motivation, like being able to say, I want to give to this charity and I want to give them $100,000 a year, is gonna be far more beneficial than giving a car company $24,000 a year in payments. Like I would rather not be fear driven and wake up in the morning because of that. I'd rather be, I have this vision in my mind and spend the time, make the goal, and do it that way. And so that is I believe personally, that's horrible advice. I would never tell anyone to go do that. Unless it was if it makes you afraid, that's different than a depreciating asset like a vehicle. Like that vehicle is going to do nothing. You're going to feel like a fraud in it and you're going to be freaked out.
Well, and the purpose that he's saying is it stresses you out to motivate you. And that's not the motivation.
I think you can do way better with a positive goal, with like, this is the dream in mind. Here's how much money I can make and do this much good with it. Make my family proud, all that. I'm like, man, there's going to be I bet how many divorces happen because of that guy's advice. He's
like, no, I got to go buy this. I gotta go buy this car.
You did what?
They think, and the wife thinks he's going through a midlife crisis. It's not. No. This is gonna be good for business. And then that person was gonna fail. So then the business doesn't show up, and then the spouse is like, "Well, we thought you said that this was gonna make your business." But they don't know how to become the person that makes the money to make the $2,000 a month payment, and so they haven't done any personal development yet. And it's like a cash flow strap, right? Like, this is all the reasons why it's so bad. Yeah. And when you're cash flow strapped, you make shitty business decisions. That's why cash is so important in a business, because then you'll actually make smart decisions with it. If you're strapped for cash, you make dumb decisions because you're pinching pennies as the dollars roll out the door, right? So then you're like,
freaked out. Can I pay rent? Yeah. Oh man.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Terrible advice. So I hate that one. There's got to be a better way. Yeah. Go buy, if you want a $2,000 per month car payment to freak you out, go buy an investment, and that's got a $2,000 payment. Like, go find a home to buy. Yeah. A rental property. It's going to scare you too.
Yeah, or sock away $2,000 a month.
Yeah.
You know, like, and make yourself do that, but at least
go be with an advisor that pulls it out automatically.
Yeah, but then if you fail, at least the money's
yeah. So I agree, man. I couldn't believe that advice. I was like, this is nuts.
Yeah, it's more just become somebody that's debt strapped rather than become somebody that's worthy of making extra money. It's
very true. What's yours?
You know what? One is that I'll never forget because it just goes against everything that I am. But it's that if you build your company with good systems, the people don't matter.
That's brutal.
And I think some people, when they hear that advice, they relate it to, say, a McDonald's, when they're like, kids can run that. You know, it's more E-Myth style, but which is, those are brilliant concepts, but I don't think that's what they meant. You know, like that. You know, and I do think they have great people that run those businesses and that make them successful. Right? They can operate very systematically with say mid-level talent or young talent. But they can't run and become the corporations there without great people running them. And so if I look even at our company, we're systems freaks, and I think we're always improving. We always have lots to do and a long way to go, but we run very systematically. Yeah. But those are nothing without the humans that operate. Right? Like our people are the best. Yeah. And so I was like that, and I remember hearing it, and I was like, that sounds like the most ridiculous thing that you can just have just a bunch of dumb people that don't care, that have no care for another human being, that don't care about doing a good job, have no pride in their work, that have no competency, and it doesn't matter because my systems are good. Yeah. Well, what if they're typing like this and they can't figure out technology? It's just totally untrue, because the best people make you the best company, and all great companies know that.
Yeah.
The only way to become the best company is to have the best people. And that's it. And I don't care how advanced AI gets and how advanced automations get. If your people aren't good, the AI ain't going to be any good either, right? Because people still have to be good to operate, or to automate things and to be the checks and balances.
Yeah.
Because that's what you're doing the checks and balances for. Like when you're doing even automations nowadays with the technology advancements, you're automating what great people were doing, right? That's what you're automating. You're not automating what a dumb, lazy person did.
Yeah.
You're automating what a really intelligent, kind of competent, smart person did. And so that, that advice I just remember pushing up against and realizing that probably wasn't the mentor for me. And the friction just continued after that, because now after that all credibility went, because I'm like, oh man, if you have no care for people, then it's just, I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I would probably say it's wrong based on who I am, but there's no wrong answer. It's just not who I am, and I knew we're not going to connect because you don't think people matter, and I believe that's all that matters. That's probably just not a formula for a partnership.
Yeah,
and that's okay. Like everybody's fine.
Yeah.
We just don't have to go that way. So that was a tough one.
Yeah. No, I wouldn't want to do business with anyone that would believe that either.
Right.
You're like, oh my word. Like what's your quote that you always say? At the very end, without people, you have nothing? Or what do you always say?
Yeah. That's all that will matter.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, the people are the only thing that will matter to you. It's the only thing that you'll miss. It's all that matters.
Yeah. Love it.